Hello students and welcome to DAV Moyle Public School. Let's begin an online session of Standard 10th Science with your teacher Mrs. Vandana Ghagre. Dear students, today in the unit Electricity we will see what is the Ohm's law and what is the relation between voltage, current and resistance. Ohm's law. Is there any relationship between potential difference across a conductor and the current through it? So let's explore an activity. Activity 12.1. Set up a circuit which is shown in the next slide consisting of a nichrome wire of XY length, say 0.5 meter, an ammeter, a voltmeter and 4 cells of 1.5 volt each. Nichrome is an alloy of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron metals. See here, the figure shows the combination of nichrome wire, ammeter, voltmeter and the cells which are connected of 1.5 volt each. First, use only one cell as a source in the circuit because then only we can check the varieties and the difference in the current flowing through the circuit. So, first use only one cell as a source in the circuit. Note the reading in the ammeter I for the current and reading of the voltmeter V for the potential difference across the nichrome wire XY in the circuit. Tabulate them in the table given. Then next, connect two cells in the circuit and note the respective readings of the ammeter and voltmeter for the values of the current through the nichrome wire and the potential difference across the nichrome wire. Repeat the above steps using 3 cells and then 4 cells in the circuit separately. Calculate the ratio of V to I for each pair of potential difference V and current I. See here, number of cells used in the circuit is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we have to record the current flowing through ammeter, ampere and potential difference we have to note here which is flowing through the voltmeter. Then we calculate its ratio and when we plot the graph between V and I, we can observe the nature of the graph as given in the next slide. After plotting the graph between V and I, see here, the graph obtained is straight line. So, V versus I graph for a nichrome wire, a straight line plot shows that as the current flows through a wire increases, the potential difference across the wire increases linearly. This is known as the Ohm's law. In this activity, you will find that approximately the same values for V and I is obtained in each case, whether it is connected with 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell or 4 cell. Thus, VI graph is a straight line that passes through the origin of the graph as shown in the figure, and thus the ratio of voltage, that is potential difference in current, is the constant ratio. In 1827, a German physicist, George Simon Ohms, 1787 to 1854, found the relationship between current I flowing in the metallic wire and the potential difference V across its terminals. The potential difference V across the ends of the given metallic wire in an electric circuit is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. Dear students, you are well versed with the directly proportional because you are a math students. So, when one quantity increases, with the increase in the one quantity, other quantity also increases. It is called the direct proportion. So, same here in the circuit, as soon as we increase the potential difference, the current automatically increases. So, provided its temperature remains the same. So, this is called the Ohm's law. In other words, in mathematically we can express this as V is directly proportional to the I. Now for the proportionality we have to keep some constant, take some constant, and that constant is here taken as R. So V upon I equals to constant, that is R. So that gives you the formula V is equal to IR. R is the constant of the given metallic wire at a given temperature, and it is called its resistance. You can see here, if the resistance increases, current decreases. So that is the inverse proportion between the current and resistance. It is the property of the conductor to regulate the flow of the charges through it. Its SI unit is ohms and represented by the Greek letter. See here, the symbol is given for the ohms. According to the Ohm's law, R is equal to V upon I. If the potential difference across the two ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current through it is 1 ampere, then the resistance R of the conductor is 1 ohms. That is, 1 ohm equals to 1 volt upon 1 ampere. Also from the equation we can get the relationship between I, V and R. I is equal to V by R. It is obvious that the current through a resistor is inversely proportional to its resistance. If the resistance is double, the current gets halved. In many practical cases, it is necessary to increase or decrease the current in an electric circuit. So this increase and decrease in the electric circuit is handled by the component which is called the resistance. Resistance is nothing but the words only suggest you it resists the flow of the current. Simple way. In many, a component used to regulate current without changing the voltage source is called variable resistance, and that variable resistance is known as the rheostat. We have studied already in the electric circuit, and you have seen the diagram also. In an electric circuit, a device called rheostat is often used to change the resistance in the circuit. Now we will study about electric resistance of a conductor with the help of the following activity. So, does the material affects the flow of the current? The same resistance, same, but the material is different. Will the current increase or decrease? So that we will see now how it affects the circuit and the electric current. See here, take a nichrome wire, a torch bulb of 10 watt bulb, and an emitter which ranges from 0 to 5 emitter range, a plug key and some connecting wires. Set up the circuit by connecting 4 dry cells of 1.5 volt each in series. Series means in a line, with the emitter leaving a gap XY in the circuit, because there we are connecting the different components, different objects, different materials which are made up of different conducting materials as shown in the figure. Complete the circuit by connecting first the nichrome wire in the gap XY. Now we will complete the circuit by using the nichrome wire. Plug the key in. Note down the emitter reading. Take out the key from the plug. Always take out the key from the plug after measuring the current through the circuit, because if you take out before measuring the current in the circuit is incomplete, so it will not show any reading in the emitter. So after reading only the current, as soon as you connect the nichrome wire to the circuit, read the current and then you take out the plug key. Replace the nichrome wire with the torch bulb in the electric circuit. Find then again the current through it by measuring the reading of the emitter. Now repeat the above step with the 10 watt bulb in the gap of XY. Are the emitter reading different for different components connected in the gap XY? What do the above observation indicates? You may repeat the activity by keeping any material component in the gap and observe the emitter reading in each case and analyze the observation. My dear students, here we can see with connection of different objects in the gap XY, we will get different current. Though the voltage is same, but we are getting the different reading in the ammeter. Why this happens? Let's see. In this activity, we observe that current is different for different components. So why do they differ? Certain components offer an easy path for the flow of the electric current, while the other resists the flow. We know that motion of an electrons in an electric circuit constitutes an electric current. If the flow is smooth, the current increases. But if there are any obstacles, we are aware that atoms are there. If atoms are restrained, attracted by obstacles for the electrons, then the current shows the less reading. The motion of an electron in an electric circuit constitutes an electric current. The electron, however, are not completely free to move within a conductor because atoms are there. They are restrained by the attraction of the atoms among which they move, and thus motion of the electrons through a conductor is retarded by its resistance. A component of a given size that offers a low resistance is a good conductor. Why good conductor? Low resistance means the current is high, means it carries the good conductor, means it carries the current in a good amount. So low resistance means current is high. High resistance means current is low, that means it is a poor conductor, and therefore a component which offers low resistance is a good conductor, and a component which offers high resistance is a poor conductor of current, electricity. A conductor having some appreciable resistance is called a resistor. We have seen the different types of colors and all are there in the resistance. A small component, but its capacity is different to resist the electric current. In the previous session already we have seen, dear students. A component of the identical size that offers a high resistance is a poor conductor. High resistance means low current, so it is a poor conductor of electricity. So an insulator of the same size offers even higher resistance. So though the insulators are same size, but depends upon its capacity of the resistance, it can even offers a higher resistance. So what you have to remind it, the different components, though the shapes are same, but some components offer resistance, low resistance, they are good conductor. Some components of resistance, so they are poor conductor of electricity. So dear students, today we have learnt about the relationship between currents and potential difference. We also came to know what is the Ohm's law. We also know what is the effect on the electric current of the resistance, whether it is a directly proportional or inversely proportional. And I hope you might have clear ideas and better comprehension of the topic. Now a small assignment for you, which you can write very well in your notebook. So take your pen and copy and start writing. It's a very easy one. Thank you, dear students. Have a nice day.